Hi, Algebra 1. So today we are reviewing box and whisker plots and 10.9 and 10.10. I'm going to go over the probability ones first, and there will be a separate video for box and whisker plots just to make it easier for me. So I have a problem that I'm going to do after I go over a few facts for you. If you want to go ahead and turn to page 405, I'm going to be working on number 8. While you are getting there, I want to touch on a few things I've noticed on your quizzes. One of the things is this: valid probabilities will always add up to 1, and you can't have negative probabilities. So when it's asking you all these questions of is it valid or is it not, add it together. If it doesn't equal 1, it's not valid. If it does equal 1, it's valid. Okay? Those are the key things to look for with that. If it says something about being mutually exclusive events, so in the just singular events, if they're mutually exclusive, you are going to add. So in the singular events, you're just going to simply add them together. You're coming up with two different probabilities and you're combining them to find the total probability. So this would be something if you have 10 marbles in a container, 3 are white and 7 are blue, and then what's the probability of you pulling out a white marble and then a blue marble? You would find the probability of the white marble, find the probability of the blue marble, and then add them together. Okay? If it's not mutually exclusive, you're not going to use the overlap. So that's like when you have questions that have like paper clips that are striped, that are blue and red striped, and then you have the red paper clips as well. You have to make sure that when you are taking things out, you don't include the same thing twice. So this would be like me saying I need a student to do something for me that is in the 9th and 10th grade, or in high school. I wouldn't count the 3 of y'all twice because you are all 3 in 9th or 10th grade, but you're also in high school. I wouldn't count the 3 of y'all twice, okay? So you need to make sure that you are subtracting the overlap. So don't use any overlap. That's what that means, okay? So we've covered that. I can erase the question mark sign. Okay. If there is replacement, you're just going to multiply them. So with replacement is similar to the mutually exclusive, except instead of adding, you're going to multiply them, okay? These can get to be some very big numbers. Both of these can. You're going to want to simplify your fractions down as far as possible. I tried to get as many options as I could in there as the answers, just in case you forget to simplify, but the more you simplify, the easier it is for me, okay? So with replacement, you just simply multiply your two probabilities. So you're going to come up with the two separate probabilities. Remember, we don't want overlap, and then you're going to multiply them together. Now, without replacement is if we are drawing names from a bag. So like I have, or names in a hat, and I put all your names in a hat, and I pull Damari's out. Without replacement is me saying, okay, what are the chances I'm going to pull Damari out first, and then what are the chances I'm going to pull Nathan out second? When I'm pulling Damari out, it's a 1 out of 3 chance. When I'm pulling Nathan out the second time, it's only a 1 out of 2 chance because I've already taken Damari's out. So that's without replacement. Without replacement, you have to make sure that you are counting it as if you have removed what you first had. Okay, so I'm going to do a problem for you. Like I said, it's page 405, number 8. I'm going to do B, G, and K. So I'm going to read it to you. John has 25 marbles in a jar. 3 are solid blue, 2 are solid red, 5 are solid yellow, 4 are blue and red striped, 3 are blue and yellow striped, 4 are red and yellow striped, and 4 are blue/red/yellow striped. So it's got 3 stripes on that. Okay. B asks, what's the probability that I'm going to pull out a marble that contains blue? Okay, so B is asking just simply for blue. It's just asking for one single marble being drawn. So I know the bottom of this is going to be out of 25. Okay? So I need to look at this and I need to see how many are solid blue. Okay? I've got 3 that are solid blue. Ooh, then I have 4 that are blue and red striped. Let me see. Then I have 3 are blue and yellow striped. Oh, and then I have 4 that are blue, red, and yellow striped. So notice how I had 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 4 is 14. I had 14 different probabilities or possibilities for that to happen, for me to get 1. Now, another way you could write this is in the decimal form. Y'all have been doing fractions. That is fine. It is also correct. In fact, I prefer the fractions. I think it's a little bit easier to see. Okay, so those were all the options I had for having just simply a blue color in it. Now, let's look at G. G wants 2 marbles being drawn with replacement, okay? So these are 2 with replacement, and they want it to, G is asking for the marbles to contain red, okay? So for this, I have to find out first, let me see, I need to find out how many marbles there are that have red for the first one. Okay, so that both contain red. So I'm going to count this. I've got 2 are solid red, 4 are blue and red striped, and then 4 are red and yellow striped, and then 4 are blue, red, and yellow striped. Okay? I'm going to need a calculator for this just to make sure I get this right. It's just for some simple math. You can do this without the calculator. It just makes it a little quicker for me right here. Okay, so I'm going to write that underneath it. That's 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 2 is 4, plus 4, or plus 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14 over 25. I did not plan it matching the top one. Okay. So that's my chances of pulling that out. So I pull out a red marble. Well, I'm going to put it back. So then I need to know what the chances are of my next one being red. Hint, it is also 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 over 25. And remember, it says with replacement, so this is going to be multiplication. So I'm going to do 14 over 25 times 14 over 25. So 14 times 14 gives me 196 over 25 times 25, which gives me 625. Okay, if they have replacement, you are just simply going to multiply the fractions, okay? Now, the first one, it may be something like, what if I were to pull a red marble with replacement and then a blue marble with replacement? Notice how my blue came out still being 14 over 25. I would still do that, okay? The next problem that we're going to do is K, and this is that both marbles contain red, but this is with replacement. Sorry, the previous one was without, so that should say without replacement. Oh wait, no, this one is without replacement, so I'm just going to change that here. The previous one was with replacement. So I honestly wasn't paying attention to the fact it said red twice. So we know the first time is going to be 14 out of 25 because we just did that problem. But now I need to see, I have already taken out 1 red. So I now have 1 less marble. So I have 25 minus 1, and I also have 1 less red marble. So I've got 14 minus 1. Okay? Do you see what I did there? It was without replacement. I'm not replacing it, so I have 1 less marble in each category because I have 1 less overall and I have 1 less red. So this is going to be 14 over 25 times 13 over 24. Okay? 14 times 13 is going to give me 182. And then I've got 25 times 24, which gives me 600. That is my fraction. However, I'm going to simplify this down a little bit, okay? So I'm going to divide this by 2, and I'm going to divide this by 2. I'm going to end up with 91 over 300. See how I did that? All I did was made sure to take away one of this, okay? Now, if they had wanted me to do, like, with the first one being red and the second one being yellow, obviously I would have taken out one of the marbles, but my top number would be however many yellows there were. Just pay attention to what the questions are asking you and try not to get too ahead of yourself and try not to get too worried or overwhelmed with this. You will have time to take your test. It is not timed, okay? So take your time, take a deep breath before you take it. If you need to get up and get a drink of water, if you need to stand up and stretch in the middle of the test, feel free to do so, okay? Also, a lot of this, like I said, there's one of every type of graph on here. So you may find out that when you get to the probabilities, there are only 4 or 5 questions for it, okay? Just make sure that you're studying today. And I know I opened up quiz 33 already available for you to take it. So if you've taken it, you don't have to take it again. If you haven't, you can take that today. I didn't mean to open both quizzes up on the same day. Okay, I will see you in a little bit for the box and whisker plots.